So hey, if anybody needs tips on the map, you're more than welcome to hit me up. But
Yeah,
apart
don't
from
hit
that,
him. No chips.
oh, you hit me up, so hey, I got second position in the competition, so I'll just say,
Yeah,
put it
I
out
know.
there. I did quite well for myself, not to toot my own horn. But overall, I will say from the video, the maps look good. I'm sure players will give their own feedback. Maybe there will be adjustments made accordingly,
Yeah.
but we have something more important to do because we have a grand final on the agenda.
It's a rematch. It's a rematch, and last time it went 3-0, if I recall that correctly. It was Antic Esports versus Trident Storm. That was the first match that I was casting. It was 10-9, 10-8, 10-6. Map order was Bali, Burn It All Down, and then we had the Sun's Retreat. And already now we see a new pick. We see Archetype and Sun's Retreat. But the picks from Antic sites are the same. And then Putumayo as map number 4 and Burn It All Down is the 5th map. But well, I mean, we're going to see those maps here for maybe the last time, but maybe there's another showdown. We're going to see one of those maps being recycled. Or like maybe 4 of them, and one other map from the most recent map pack that just came out will be used. As you can also see the map pack on YouTube, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It's in the pinned message that Sam just sent in. So no, from Lynn, but Sam pinned it. So make sure to check it out, like it. It's a great video, good show or like showcase of the map pack. And let's go into the grand final. Kuda and Spark versus Neumat and Complex, and I think that's deserved that Neumann and Complex are in here. They looked very strong, but Kuda and Spark had a strong match. Even though they were shaking a bit, they were able to close it out in a quite convincing fashion. So let's see what Trident can do now, as they have lost yesterday 3-0, and keep that in mind. There was no Kuda, there was our beloved Sabo Jr. playing.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big difference. But if anything is to go by, we are seeing a completely different Trident Storm today as well. So hopefully they don't get too, quaking in their boots, because they know who their opponents are. One of the best teams in Asian Oceania with Spark and Buda. So they just have to, keep their head down, focus on their own driving, and that will come in itself. If Spark and Buda drive faster, even then, well, hey, hats off to them. They deserve it then. But you just have to, in those moments, just drive your own game. And sometimes you just have to forget that there is even an opposition team. You just have to focus on what you're doing and get the job done.
Yeah, you just have to focus.
Yep. Yeah. And for the final time, we can say that for the showdown, we get to see these maps, and the grand final is underway. And Kuda gets a bit of a nose slide, an awkward start for him. So Spark is the one to lead this track for Team Antic, and Neumann and Complex are the ones who are going to be chasing down. And we'll see, can we go to a map 5 affair, or will Antic be able to do a quick 3-0 from the group stages as they did before? But at the moment, Spark just gone. Basically what it is at the moment, and Kuda honestly is catching up to the two Trident members.
Yeah, good line here from Kuda, coming closer to Neumann, overtaking him now. So he has one already that he caught up to, and Complex might be the next one. But Kuda with a mistake and will not go for the risky, but we almost saw a mistake there from Neumann. He was able to survive it, so not a good start from Antic and also from Trident. I think they could have gotten much more out of that mistake from Kuda, but I mean, look at that time from Spark. I think that was a 0.7 to begin with. So the Indian powerhouse looks absolutely great and sharp like a pencil. So good focus from him, and let's see how that goes in the next round, as Kuda didn't certainly make a mistake in this round, and that was also a great comeback here on that second half of the map from the Indonesian player. Complex with an okay line. I thought that he's gonna lose control, but he's still in there to have a saying, and Neumann is on second place right now. Good round, but Spark again just dominating this match, and now we approach the ice set as we see the first mistake happening from Complex. Now it's Neumann versus Kuda for that second position. Right now this seems like Spark is running away with that yet again. Neumann can squeeze in there and will make a mistake, but also Kuda with a mistake, so will be a draw instead because Neumann was able to save it. Kuda missed the ending, and another good time from Spark. It's 2-2, and I mean, Antic, again, getting those draws, but either of those are struggling again, and they could have, like, again gotten more out of those rounds where it was just one person from them just driving an insane time.
Yeah, I mean, so far it is basically, in my opinion, it is still in Antic's field to take this one, because if Sparks can just keep doing what he's doing, you know, Kuda will eventually get one round going, and that will be more than enough to slingshot Antic into a track point. So it is technically Complex and Neumann who are kind of faced against the wall, because they have not really been able to match Spark in pace, but Complex is doing his best to doing his best to actually do that. So everybody is kind of close, and Neumann and Complex, everybody's in the mix. So this could come down to an absolute ending. Who's willing to push that outside third the most? Complex really sending the outside. Kuda fumbles, but so does Neumann. So it will be a draw, and what looked to be a possible even ace for Trident ends up being another draw. What a great round. But that outside third can be a devil's advocate. It can work so much wonders for you, but it can throw you off in an instant as well.
Yeah, what an intense start here into this match, as Antic also could have gotten much more out of round 1 and 2, but this one was certainly the round for Trident to at least take home a victory, and this was even the position for an ace. So let's see how that goes, as Spark and Kuda now finally find themselves in the lead together. And Complex also with a mistake and lands on his back after clipping that beam on top there. So this looked quite fun from my POV, as he had to fully respawn. And now Spark and Kuda finally find their way into the match by the looks of it. But Spark not with the best speed. Neumann eating the snow there, but is still ahead. At least it was not yellow snow, so not the interesting one. It was the white snow, so he didn't slow down according, or not too much. So Kuda and Spark on first and second, and there you go. It is 6-3, and Antic are looking to win their first pick.
Yeah, and with a 0.6 of a
Yeah,
time
good
as
time.
well. Very nice time by Kuda as well to get into it. And yeah, there's a reason why Antic picked the same maps over and over again. You know, they are good on them. And clearly Spark can be quite fast, and so can be Kuda. Both have driven a 0.6, and Spark drove consistently 0.7s previously as well. But Kuda, you know, from the heights of the 0.6, finds himself again in the 4th position. So not looking as consistent as he probably would love to be, but you know, if Spark can hold on to 1st position, they're more than happy to keep that 3-point lead. And Complex was able to keep up in the first half with Spark, but now the difference is quite noticeable. And with Kuda also coming back into the mix, but immediately touches the wall, so it puts Trident into a draw position, and it seems Spark won't make a mistake in the end as well, so it will be a draw. Oh, but everybody is sort of really pushing the limits, and Spark and Kuda are sort of,
another 0.6.
You know, trading blows with best times at the moment as well.
Yeah, another good time. So Kuda struggling a lot there at the start, just by getting and holding his gear. So I was following him in this round, so it was quite intense, and AC makes another mistake. So Kuda doesn't really feel it on this map, as this is round number 6 already. It's 7-4, and Spark just looking absolutely great. 60% top ones for now, so 1-3 out of those 5 rounds that have happened so far, and looks to be like the 4th one here, as Neumann also now has to go for a respawn. So Kuda will catch up and is now ahead of him, but Spark with a mistake, so maybe he's not gonna win this round. It will be Complex by the looks of it, but he still has to clear the ending, but that is a lot of speed accumulated. It is 1st and 2nd and 3rd kind of set in stone, so nothing really happens unless Complex fails the risky, but this will not happen. Spark also clears it, as well as Kuda. It's 5-8 from Trident's POV, and they have to pull the trigger now. They have to at least get themselves a victory.
Yeah, but it seems everybody's, you know, trading 0.7s. Complex even can pull one out as well. So, but it is one of those rounds where Neumann probably looks at like, man, they were both like a second behind, you know, could have really taken advantage of that one. But, you know, you will settle for a draw for now, but you would have loved to get an ace in that one, you know. An ace in the previous round, you know, is a draw in the next one, basically, it seems like. So for the time being, Antic hold on to their comfortable 3-point lead, and it looks to be the case that, well, I say that Spark, again, has a bit of a fumble there. Maybe, you know, running out of that, you know, nitro. In the end, you know, it's Sakuda show now for the time being, but Neumann goes so far. Can he actually... He doesn't even make the jump, and Spark overtakes him, so it will be another draw unless Complex decides to make another fumble in the end. But it seems that Complex is also getting in the groove of it. Another 0.7. They are really driving fast, and there's always one person who gets that 0.7 or 0.6, and Neumann is the one that is feeling a bit left out at the moment. Everybody's having a great time driving amazing times, and he's the one that is sort of, you know, just getting the back end of it.
Yeah, and it's again a draw. I think that was the sixth draw of this series. We go into round number 8 already. And Antic, I mean, still ahead. And there you go. So Spark and Kuda maybe can close it out now. They only need of 1 point, and I think this will surely happen after seeing the trend of the last 7 rounds that we have witnessed. You know, they have at least gotten 1 point in all of those, or in any of those rounds. So I do think that they're gonna close it out here. Also because Neumann didn't get the best start, and now Spark and Kuda first and second. Definitely not a good way to start the match for them. Kind of ended like how their first match of the day has started on map 2 and 3, but they still got away with that. But of course now they play against Neumann and Complex, who are certainly ready and looking hungry. And well, Spark setting a great time here again. Another sub 48. And there you go. Antic wins map number 1.
Yep, Antic get the map secured. Complex tried to risk it, you know, maybe give it his best shot, but Spark was gonna be first or second regardless of it. So it is a very nice GG, a very nice first map to start the grand final off. It was a very close affair, to be honest. Very good rounds, very good times, but we are now gonna move on to Archetype. And this is a map picked by Trident Storm, and I'm gonna be interested in this fact because I believe, at least I'm gonna quickly double check, at least as far as I remember, Antic, well, I say Antic, did they really play Archetype? Oh, they played the Decider against Pivo Bitch on this, but then again that was with our good old friend Sabo Jr. So I don't know where to put the Antic on this map. Trident Storm, on the other hand, you know, they picked it, so there must be a reason to do so. But whether
Trident Storm played it.
Oh, they really?
I mean,
oh.
Yeah, they played it against Pivo Bitch. They played it against Pivo Bitch. They won 10-4. So I think there's a reason why they picked this map. But it seems like a very situational pick. But in general, they really altered their first pick. It was Burn It All Down, Putumayo, then Archetype, now Archetype again, of course. But they have swapped it around quite a bit. And Kuda and Spark, I do think that is a map that can suit them very well, as Complex and Neumann both get a really good start, but Kuda and Spark right now on first and third position, as Spark gets an interesting line there, goes quite far up, loses a lot of speed, but still gets a clear gear up that you need in order to just build as much speed up as possible. And Spark again, very risky there, and Kuda, his teammate, is currently carrying him, unlike map number 1, where it was Spark getting 2 out of those, or like every second round he has gotten himself a first position. It's now Complex with a respawn. Neumann can overtake, and he will do so. Good snipe, and a 51.958 from Kuda. Also a new PB, so good time there as well. Was definitely not needed, and Antic starts off things with a victory.
Yeah, I do think that the fastest time for the Asian Oceania scene is 51.838 by Complex. If my memory serves me right. So it was very close to being the record for Asian Oceania. So that is something to keep in mind as well. So definitely they have it in place, or in the locker as well. But we'll have to wait and see how things will go. But Kuda, very good start for him as well. You know, the previous map it was a bit of a hit and miss with consistency, but it seems that now he's really getting into the groove as well. And again, he finds himself in first position, and gonna be a tough time for Trident at the moment. If Kuda wakes up in Complex having not the greatest time, so it's Neumann actually the one that has to step up for Trident. I mean, I think really looking quite troublesome, at least for Trident, because if they keep this up, this could go into 2-0 affair. But this can still produce some interesting moments, and Neumann is sending it. He has more speed out of this. If he can get a very tight line, well, he gets only second position, but still very nice effort by him. But it only makes the lead for Antic grow bigger, and now is 2 points.
Yeah, what a great ending there from Neumatt, just trying his best and was almost able to get that first position, but it wasn't quite enough. So Antic still extending the lead now to 2 points. So Spark and Kuda looking strong to win their second map, also due to that mistake, and that's just how important it is in those tightly packed series. In a tightly packed series, Complex now with a mistake, and I mean, just seeing his performance, 40% crashes, 30% top ones, he has to perform, he has to go out of his comfort zone. That's what they have to do. Neumatt didn't find a first position for now, and Spark and Kuda right now are also gatekeeping that one away from him. Kuda looking great, and also is again on a great time here by the looks of it, and also Spark is behind, and after that this could already be map points. If they get another ace, it could be done and out. But Neumann again trying to go for a good ending, and I'm not sure what Kuda did. I thought the map, maybe he thought the map was a bit longer there, but Kuda will also get overtaken by Complex there in the ending. I don't know what happened, but I think Kuda thought the map is maybe a bit shorter, like 1 block less long, but because he drifted so far to the left or he clipped the inside or something like that. I have not seen what happened there, but I mean, it's at least a draw. In favor, slightly in favor for Antic, but it could have been much more. It could have been already the nail to the coffin, and now Kuda is the person making a mistake at the start.
Yeah, and this is exactly what they need. Complex is the reason why I think the map was chosen, and Neumann also seems to be a lot more comfortable on this one as well. And you said it very rightly, Complex is the one that has to show up in this one, and it seems now he's getting into this round much better, and honestly Antic are feeling the pressure. I feel like they know Neumann is constantly up in the first positions, and now it is Spark who has to do catch up. It's not a position that he's familiar with, usually enjoys first position quite comfortably, but if he gets a good end here, setting himself up for a very nice finish. And he almost actually does it, but not quite. That was very close for comfort, not gonna lie, but he really went for it. And that's the difference. If you can set yourself up for a very tight finish in the end, you could get so much time on the people in front of you, and he almost got the first position as well.
Yeah, so this is a great turn of events here in favor for Trident on this map. It looked like almost over after the start of round 3, but now they're only 1 point away from their opponents. I mean, good snipe there from Antic in the previous rounds, but it was just like, it was minimization of damage. It could have been 6-5 in favor for Trident here instead. And look at that round now. Neumann not with a good trajectory there. Also didn't get a clean gear, but also Spark clipping. And now it is Complex and Neumann leading again. Antic really struggling to find themselves on the right side of the track and finding the right lines. Also Kuda here over drifting a lot. I think someone like clipped the inside here for that drift. Neumann clipping though, and it will most likely be... Oh no, Neumann. Oh no, he missed the finish.
With Reactor.
This was for 1 point, and Neumann unfortunately failed it. So there you go. It is 7-6, and Antic, it's again like the previous match. They're just capitalizing from smaller from more mistakes of their opponents. They make the lesser mistakes, and it's so weird. And now speech bubble mode. Oh my god! What just happened?
Absolute chaos is what has happened. Spark died with Complex. Kuda didn't make the jump properly, and Neumann is the only one who survives everything, and it puts such a big gap between everybody. Everybody has a second distance between each other. Only Complex is really slowly catching up to Kuda, but Kuda has to hold on to this position. He cannot let Complex pass, because then they put themselves in a 7-9 position, and that is the worst position you want to be in. But Kuda seems to be at least holding on to this. No heroics needed, and Complex also, oh my god, he gets a PB as well, Neumann. Not the fastest time, but still, hey, PB, you will take that in rounds. It's 8-8, and you cannot cut it anymore finally. Well, we know Steak and Cheese have had problems with closing out, but will Trident have the same issue? It's the perfect opportunity to do so. And honestly, Trident have looked the better team on this track. They've just fumbled at the last minute, and again, Kuda, or no, this time it was Spark actually who had the fumble. So every opportunity for Trident to take this, and Kuda has to fully send it.
Yeah, it was such a good start for Antic on this map, and now Trident all of a sudden, first and second, woken up there out of their winter sleep, and we see a mistake from Neumann, and he has no speed to work with. So now Complex has to survive. This is how quickly it can go. And let's see what Kuda can do here versus Complex in the ending. Is he able to overtake? Good and smooth line, but still needs to nail the ending. Complex has it, and we go into a 9-9 situation. Spark also survives it. Neumann is on 4th, and I hope this is not going to put a dent into the motivation for Trident, but can we finally get around without a fail at the start transition?
Yeah, everybody knows they have to push it. You really cannot just let go. You want to get as much speed as possible, but it's such an easy jump to get wrong because the transition, it looks like you could make it very comfortably, but everybody makes it this time. So something different for the time being, but Neumann is the one to fumble first, and this could be the detriment to everything that has happened so far. Spark and Kuda have to now chase down Complex. Complex is the only one to keep Trident in it, to get us into overtime, but Kuda is doing everything in his power to avoid that situation even coming to fruition. The 1v1 up in front is real and true, and they're going at it neck and neck, switching positions every single turn. Kuda and Complex, who's willing to push this?
Oh, good line from Kuda.
Wider, he will have more speed, but that's a bit of an awkward transition. Who's gonna send it? Oh, Kuda's a bit of an awkward line. Can he make it? He misses the finish. Can Neumann? Neumann is somewhere lost on the track. What are you doing? What the hell is happening?
Oh my god,
Kuda misses again! Oh my god!
How did he finish?
Oh my god, he still finished!
Oh my god, what?
What are you doing? Oh my god! Trident were given the most freest win ever, and they still fumble it. Oh my god, now everybody can say average APEC round ever. Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
Neumann is now lost as well, and oh my god. Okay, let's calm ourselves down now.
What is happening here?
Yeah, Complex and Kuda again 1v1. Complex has to win this again.
Yeah, Spark is ahead of Neumann, so it is between Kuda and Complex. And what an ending there. We have seen a player on the roof, we have seen a player pulling an Evon from the Comic-Con qualifier. Maybe you remember that.
Oh yeah,
this was quite the finish. It was quite similar to that, but magically he has finished as Kuda almost touches the wall there. Complex with a great line. This is for the map win. Kuda has to take it. Complex hesitates, and if you don't commit to the line, you will be dead. And there you go. Antic wins map number 2 as well. What a heartbreaking end, and this just describes Antic's day. They just get away with that, and we go to map number 3, Trident. Well, I mean, 2-0 behind. They need to win 3 consecutive maps in a row.
That's a rough one. I feel like Neumann will be slightly kicking himself. You know, it was a lot of time that he could have taken that round, and it would have been Trident's track as well. But now they have to go on to Sun's retreat, and if there's anything to go by is the fact that Spark has been quite annoying to drive against here. You know, Restless tried their best on, Restless, I know I'm not Restless, I mean, the fact that, we've seen so many times Spark go on this map, and it's been absolutely unstoppable. And it's now coming off from that track as well, and to lose it that way, that's
the mud
one of those where you just have to somehow forget about it and move on to this one, and that's a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, that really distinguishes the best from the absolute top field of players. If you just can, like, live with it and just, move on, nothing happened, it's a new match, everything is still ongoing, just stick to the plan, just trust your instincts and know what you're able to do. And, well, let's just see how that goes, because we go to the next and maybe last map of this series already. As it is, Kuda and Spark with a great start, and Neumann, the only player from Trident left alive, and this could be a quick one. I think they have played this map already against each other, and keep in mind it was Spark playing with our favorite player of all time, with Sabo Jr. in there, and the last time they've played it, it was a 10-6 in favor for Antic, of course, but now we have Kuda with a small mistake, Neumann on seconds, and Spark with a mistake. And I mean, they have had so many mistakes in this on this map already, on match number 1 that they have played. And currently it looks to be like a draw or even a victory for Trident, because Spark didn't have the best speed, but I think positions are set in stone unless someone fails the ending, but everyone is aligning it perfectly, and there you go. Gonna start things off with a draw, and also not good times.
Yeah, it's well, given the 3/4 of the field had a bit of a fumble to begin with, you know, Neumann is just there to get the job done, get to the finish line, and it gives them the draw. But it's been a tale of this grand final. Antic have given almost every opportunity for Trident, you know, just take the ace, you know, just take it. We're giving this to you for free.
Yeah.
And Trident are like, no. We don't take handouts here, you know. We're gonna win, and we're gonna win with style, but it hasn't really worked out. They should really just take those aces when they do come about, but it's of course easier said than done, given that they do have Spark and Kuda as opposition, and we see it again. Spark and Kuda take the early lead. They are ones to set the pace for now. Complex is now in the mix as well. He's the one that should be setting the pace for Trident, and is indeed rightly doing so. Spark has a very good setup here as well. Complex will have more speed, so this will come down whoever is willing to tap their way to victory. Complex will have more speed, better slides, and that is exactly what he needs to do. And Neumann is close, but not even close.
Great round.
Everybody else is a very great round, does a very great round indeed.
Yeah, very nice round there. It is 2-2 now, so nothing really has happened to start things off. And let's go into round number 3, as it is Spark with a very good start, and also his teammate Kuda is not too far behind, and we see the first mistake already being done by Complex, so he's behind. But also Spark, like, so many crashes and such a good start to the match. Remember the 50% win rate that we were talking about? It's down to 26%, 31% crashes. Kuda now, like, both of them, like, kind of adding up very nicely to the equation, but like, it was not a convincing performance from Antic that we were anticipating, and just so many draws, so many missed opportunities, and this match could have already been over, to be honest. I mean, they still get somewhat of a lead in some of those rounds, but they need both to perform. Now Spark, however, is ahead of Complex, who has made a bigger mistake than him, so they will be in the lead. It's 4-3. Trident still getting that 1 point out of it, but Antic now 2 aces away of winning the Showdown.
Yeah, they are getting there as well, but it's definitely, you know, if we have to choose one of those matches, you know, Antic's, I will say Antic's definitely the most shakiest performance so far, but you know, it is a grand final. You know, you can definitely put a bit of pressure on that as well, but you can definitely see, you know, when you are put on the spot, you know, and you have to win the tournament, you know, that's where, you know, you start to be a bit more shakier. Neumann is the one to shake himself out of the round as well, and it is Complex who has to now get first position to at least secure a draw. And Spark and Kuda, again, they are in the mix, but it's the last segment is where things have gone awry. You know, they push it a bit too far. The transition here can go a bit badly for them, but they have more speed than Complex, so they do secure the lead for now. Can they actually hold on to it as well? It is 1-2. Complex just full sends it as well. Complex does have a very nice ending here. He's trying to speed slide his way, or no, well, not trying to get the third slides going, but not quite enough. And it is a victory for Antic. A very good round still, all things considered, but it is a case where, at least for Antic, you know, both of their members are somewhat keeping themselves in it, but for Trident, one of the members always has a much more bigger mistake compared to Antic.
Yeah. Yeah, now Neumann was 13 seconds behind. I think Kuda had a weird landing there, and kind of bugged to the right, or just had a weird alignment there. It just looked odd in my eyes, but he was still able to get that third position. Also had a bit more speed there, but of course traveled so much distance, and now he gets the no slide, so Kuda will be completely out of this round. And it is Complex and Neumann trying to come closer to Spark, who gets a really good start, but it doesn't look to be enough. As actually this is a good fight and wasn't the most perfect line from Spark, but that he lost so much with that, and Complex and Neumann came so much closer, it was a surprise to me. We see the first mistake grabber from Complex, and it is Spark now leading the rounds, going insanely close there to the wall, and I think he could be on a great time even. Neumann and Complex should keep it together and should just rely on getting that 1 point in this round. And this looks good, as the gaps are set in stone here by the looks of it, but never call it too early. We have seen a lot of mistakes in the ending, actually, which is just a simple jump, but sometimes those are the hardest one to nail, and the 0.67 is certainly a good time. It's 7-5. Antic now having the angle to win this showdown. There you go. Can they make it with an ace? It will be all over.
Yeah, that's the ace. It's all they need, but it honestly, it can go either way at this point, because it seems that neither team is really willing to just, you know, get it done with. It has to be the most complicated way to get to that spot to get that track point, and you know, hey, the positive side is that everybody's actually made through the first half of the track, so we do have actually a solid round with everybody in the mix. Neumann, of course, a bit more conservative, but now, as I say, that does hit the wall and puts, well, Spark also hits the wall. So again, a lot of shakiness comes about, and Complex is the one racing against Kuda in this position. Kuda has been able to get a very nice ending going every time, but he always goes a bit conservative in my opinion. So Complex, if he's willing to just full send it, see, Kuda goes a bit wider every time just to make sure he has more speed here, but it does not work out every time, but this time it does.
Spark.
So he's able to hold on to first position, but Neumann is able to get third position because
Spark with a terrible mistake.
Yeah, so it is a draw again, and as I said, Antic is doing every bit in their power to make this as the most complicated way to win a grand final as possible.
Yeah, so it's 8-6, but I mean, Antic somewhat getting away with it. So it is match point again for them. This time, just that they have 1 more point than beforehand, and Trident also at 6 points. Not the winning angle just yet to take home this map, and now Neumann with a mistake, unfortunately. I mean, 39% crashes speaks for itself. Also Complex with 39% coincidentally, but they have to go out of their comfort zone in order to make something happen against Spark and Kuda. But I think in some rounds it would have been enough if they just had saved it a bit more. So quite unlucky, and I think a little bit of a take-home message here, because Spark and Kuda certainly look not in shape today. Compared to other matches that I've seen them playing in, and there you go. We see a mistake from Complex, and I think that is it. Antic, they are first and second, and only 1 more turn to go, and they will win the showdown here. So they will be first position. Yeah, dude, what is that mistake from Spark, man? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, this is so unnecessary.
He doesn't get it as well.
It's so unnecessary. Like, what is going on? Like, for real, I would not even count that to a jinx. Like, how do you make a mistake even there when you're 2 seconds ahead? This is a performance that just makes me mad.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where one of your teammates should be communicating to the other, or is able to keep an eye on the splits and should be able to tell, dude, we're 2 seconds ahead, just make the turn, you know, and you don't even have to fully push it. That is a very harsh mistake, and it can be easily punished, because if you make such a silly mistake, usually afterwards is where you're like beating yourself down. You're like, come on, man, damn it. And again, we see Spark out of the round, Kuda out of the round.
Dude, it's incredible, no?
They are actually doing
this is making me so mad. This is making me absolutely mad.
God.
No way,
Jesus
dude. Like,
Christ.
this is... I hope Antic is gonna lose now. Sorry that I'm biased here, but they don't deserve the victory
and
here.
Falling
like,
apart.
what the hell?
Honestly, this is something that you have to keep in mind. When you're playing competitions, you cannot allow this mistake, and rightly so. Trident take the track point, and Antic, after giving away so many chances throughout this entire grand final, finally get punished. And that is a massive blow, because Antic now have to go deeper. I don't think, apart from that one match where they went like 5 maps with Sabo, they've been comfortably getting 3-0s, and now they have to go deeper into the map pool. And honestly, the shoe is on Trident's sides at this point, because that is a very frustrating way to lose a track by Spark and Kuda. And honestly,
it makes me
a
mad.
very annoying way to do it. And I'm honestly with you with that anger, because that's a very, very bad way to lose a track.
Yeah, I mean, this should never, ever happen. And like Spark and Kuda are definitely players who should never do something like that. And now we go to a very good map. I mean, let's just move on. I mean, it's still a good match in our hands. I mean, I'm happy that we have this one, but like just this kind of stuff, you know? I said it was a GG already, and now they just threw it away, and both players make a mistake in this kind of rounds. But anyway, now we go to Putumayo, the map from Duji, as I always call him. So let's go and see how this one will develop, as Kuda and Spark lost their first map. And I mean, they looked okay on this map, but also had a lot of weaknesses on this. And also, like, it doesn't matter if you have practiced the maps extensively enough or not. You should just not go for this kind of risk when you're 2 seconds ahead. You shouldn't do it. It's just a left turn. Just a left turn that you have to do. You do that every time. You know what to do. You know what to expect. You know what will happen. It's so that you're not knowing the turn. But feigning it like that should never happen, and Kuda and Spark should definitely rewatch the matches from today, because neither of those matches were like great successes. And also Kuda now falling over the track.
Complex in first position. Spark is trying to catch up here as well. Neumann will be third, and it is Complex to take the first position. It's definitely something I would put down as to a communication thing. As teammates, you should be able to communicate this. At least one of you should check the splits. And hopefully this is not something that will come to haunt them at the moment. And it seems Spark does need a pause as well. So apparently there's more to it as well. It seems that there's a bit of a TC or something, at least in that regard. Kuda completely out of it, or maybe... I know, well, Kuda, I would have said a bad disconnect from the controller, but Kuda is a keyboard player, so so I don't know what exactly happened. At least he says it says it's a TC, but he's still on the server, so maybe he's facing some, you know, a lot more lag
XCD shaking
from the connection. So very hard to say.
I don't know.
Here, but we'll see. We'll wait a bit. But hey, if anything, it is a case to be made that, you know, Trident at the moment, I feel a lot more confident. You know, you take a map like that away from them, and it's very hard to come back. Of course, on this map, we saw that Spark and Kuda had the ending quite well down, so that could be something that works well for them. But for the time being, at least, we'll have to wait and see. But, you know, hey, if there's anything to go by, it is that Trident don't get the 2-1 in this case, which it is something that, well, it will be 0-0 at this case. So, but I think it should be 2-1, but I guess it was paused right before the round actually cancelled. So, but I guess it was, since it was a DC, it is understandable. But I'm sure Trident would have loved to get the victory, but maybe they can just replicate it in this round.
Who knows? Like, I don't know what will happen now. I'm not sure what the rulebook says, because the scoreline says 0-0, 0-0. Just turning German there for a second. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, I don't know. But I actually have to go to the toilet, so I'll be right back. So I hope you can just take over the cast here for a couple of seconds. So I will be back in a second. I don't know what is going on, because also Kuda is on the server. But yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, it is something. We'll see. I'll see you there. I'll take over the podcast for now. I'll be the one talking for the time being. Yeah. So apparently, Kuda has a disconnect at the moment or some kind. But yeah, he is on the server still. So we have yet to see what is actually happening as well. It seems that maybe Kuda is so out of it that, you know, he's just, you know, you know what, screw it basically. And yeah, so it is, the pause was called in also very early, so the scoreline should be 2-1 technically, but I'm sure the admins will work it out at the moment in that regard, so we'll have to wait and see. But for the time being, hey chat, how have you been enjoying the Showdown event while we're at it and waiting? You know, you get to see at the moment, you know, Neumann driving about, but how have you been enjoying the tournament so far? You know, it is a bit of a taste of teams to come as well. Of course, the map pack will be completely different for the main event, but how have you been enjoying today? We've seen some hectic stuff today, so hopefully at least you've had a good time and you've enjoyed some well, you've been at least treated in the grand final, you know, and yeah, there was a honestly, you know, given there was of course the outrage by Turbo and me as well, but I think it is very justified. It is a mistake that you should never allow as a team that plays competitive parts as well. You know, it's a very simple thing to get right, and of course it has happened to even the best of teams. It reminds me of the time when G1 with Gwen and Binks had a secure by way of getting an ace, but then they drew it and got a draw in the end. But of course, you know, sometimes you get, you know, it gets into your head a bit, you know, maybe you are on PB pace and you just want to push it. But Spark was second position, technically. Guda was the one in first. So there was no real justification for Spark to really go for that risk as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But we'll have to as we can see in game as well, the admins are fixing the score as well. Trident will be given the justly score as well to perhaps to get 2-1, or we have to manually drive the round to get Trident the 2-1 scoreline as well. We'll have to wait and see, and we'll just have to figure that out at the moment. But, you know, we get a bit of a pause. It is one thing where, you know, I said it before as well, where, you know, having a technical or an issue midway through the match can throw you off sometimes as well. So we'll see how things will be sorted out. We might have to, you know, manually set the score, or, you know, we'll let the players, you know, at least drive until the end to manually set the score as well. But we'll have to wait and see for the time being. But, you know, overall, I'm happy with everything so far. It's been still a very exhilarating match. Also, keep yourself hydrated. Good time to drink. I see, I believe Turbo is also back in business, at least from my preview end as well. Turbo, you back in business?
Hello, hello. Yeah. Sorry, I just forgot to unmute, actually.
We're still waiting on the situation.
Yeah.
At least,
I thought I actually didn't mute when I left, but I did. So okay. Yeah, XCD moment here, but there you go. Yeah, I think it's again a pause, and I mean I don't know, like what a stall here, stalling for content, but I think
it seems that they cannot really force set the score on the server. They tried to do so it seems that we might just go and do it manually, letting the drivers drive around where they just give Trident the victory, and then we will continue on from there. It seems that will be the score, and yeah, so basically, yeah, we see it in game as well. We will reset, and you will drive the round to give Trident the victory. So and the pause, yeah, because the thing is, like, if you do the pause right before the round ends, the system will automatically count it as 0-0. It won't count the score as it was, even if it's like the final second. If the pause is called before the round ends, it will then go reset itself back to 0-0. Yeah. So we will just let Trident and Antic drive it, so it will be 2-1, and we'll continue on like nothing has changed.
Yeah, so there will be one round to fix the score. I think there's a way to manually set it, but I'm not sure like where it is in the settings. I think it's in the complete deep depths of the game. So you can probably
they have
make
to figure out how to get a victory, and so turn car is on. So that will be interesting to see. Complex. So I'm curious to see how they will figure this out. I'm interested because this is not technically a round, you know. This is just sort of to get Trident the victory. Would be funny. Okay, Kuda and Complex just falls off as well. So this is gonna be a bit awkward now. I don't know how they will get the victory here. Kuda might need to.
They just have to wait.
Slow down a bit. Yeah, they have to now wait for Complex to get back in. This is a bit awkward now.
Take it as a warm-up round. But yeah, Neumann has to... Oh my god, I can see this going wrong already. Oh my...
This is a bit awkward. Spark respawns. So, okay. So,
Neumann, you have to go to the finish, man!
Go. Go, just go. Okay, Complex
why?
goes. Well, that's fair enough. Complex can go.
Yeah, but you guys,
Okay, Spark.
what are they do? What is happening? I mean, they can just leave it like this. No one has to finish, actually. No one has to
Oh,
finish
hey,
like
actually,
this.
Spark has to
Or
finish.
Spark has to finish. Yeah, Elsa will be an ace, but now it doesn't matter. Like Kuda and Nomad
Or
don't.
I think. Or
I mean,
actually,
it doesn't
Neumann has
matter.
to finish because it might actually
No,
count it as an ace.
nah, it will be a
Neumann-
victory. It will be a victory.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is.
it's
Okay,
fine.
yeah. I remember it's always awkward when these things happen, but you know, we'll get it done. We got there in the end. We can actually get back into the match and play it as
Almost
it should be. It's
Pipega.
1-2 and as it should have been. I'm sure the admins will figure it out for the main event as well. It is a complicated thing with certain scripts. They're not all equally built the same.
I think there's just one command that you have to do.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's always. I know they tried, but I feel like it is a bit annoying as well. So the command is not always as simple as it is. But for the time being, it is a simple outcome where everybody now can drive to their heart's content and do the speed they want without having to worry that they have to give the victory away. So Complex is actually trying to fight Kuda. Spark is
oh my
falling off
god,
and,
dude!
and
I'm
not making
so
the jump
triggered
there
by
as
this
well.
match.
Yeah, it's really not getting towards the well, but hey, it's gonna be a draw. Kuda is gonna get first position, so that is well and truly good for him. 51-0, actually, very nice time as well. Spark is sort of the one who has sort of lost spark, I guess you could say it like that. He's really not feeling the match today, at least the grand final.
Yeah, it is not looking good. So there you go. It is 3-2 in favor for Trident, and they can maybe snipe this one away from Antic as well. But Spark and Kuda again getting a really good start. Look at that. And now they can finally regain control if they can make this one happening. But of course, as you said, Spark lost the spark. 37% crashes, 25% top ones. Kuda 29 rates, so way better off than his teammate, who's currently batting it out for that second place. But Complex got a way better line in this corner, but this could equalize the scoreline if Spark gets a good line. But again, lost so much speed in this sector, but had a way better line than Complex and also Neumann, so he comes closer. This could still be the ace for Antic. Spark with more speed can overtake Neumann can overtake Complex, only overtakes one, but still a very good round. It's a victory for Antic, and it's 4-4. So this match could have already been over like 20 minutes ago, but we're still ongoing here. And there you go. Antic and Trident still fighting it out. And I think if Trident, to be honest, if they win this map, they're gonna win this match.
Yeah, honestly, it's looking likely to be so as well. It's all basically Trident's ball game now. If Antic cannot pick up their momentum, and Spark is completely, again, fallen behind. Like, he's currently a bit of a shadow of his former self, and Kuda is the one that has to pick it up for Antic, because if Trident now get this run, Kuda is really getting close to those edges, and one little mistake by Kuda here right now, and Trident get the ace, and they are right on his heels. But Antic have one thing going for them. They always get
good
the
line from
ending quite
Neumann.
well. Yeah, Complex doesn't get the best lineup for it, but Kuda always has a good end, and look at that speed. At least one thing is going for Antic, and it's the fact that they can do the end quite more riskier, and it is a draw, but 5-5. How long can Antic keep doing this? How long can their hand be held throughout this entire grand final? Trident and this grand final has produced some of the more interesting ways to play a grand final that I've seen in a long time. But for the viewers, it is content, it's storylines. But for Antic, it probably is the biggest frustration they've had in a very long time. And for Trident, I mean, they're just always on the verge of getting it. And again, it's now Kuda who's out of it and completely. He has wet wheels now as well, so he's gonna have a fun time driving a bit as well. So Complex and Spark are the ones to lead the front.
Yeah, good fight here between them. Complex has the upper hand right now, but Spark had some great ending sections in the last couple of rounds. And look at that line here again. Oh, not the best one, but look at the white setup going insanely close there to the limitation of the map towards the sign, but he still gets that first position, and we see Neumann with a mistake, and I think this momentum shift could really change it. Spark now winning around, Neumann with a mistake, Kuda also in there, and now it's match point again. We were in this kind of situation already, but Antic, of course, miserably threw it away. And it's 7-6 yet again. So there you go. Good luck.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good luck. It could be match set and done for Antic, but to be honest, it hasn't looked anywhere close for Antic to actually take an ace on this track. It's more been that it's one player who holds the front, and then the rest will follow along with that as well. And it seems that Trident are smelling the blood in the water, and it's been there for the longest time so far. Trident, I mean, they are the team of the sea, you know, they should be able to, you know, be like sharks, you know, when they smell it. But as I say that, Neumatt goes a bit too ambitious on the checkpoint and puts Complex in a predicament. Can Antic actually get this ending? Not quite. Kuda tries, but it's not going to be enough. And it is Complex to hold the front. It is another draw, but it only puts Antic ever so closer to that match point. But Trident now on a track point themselves as well.
Yeah, track point for them, 8-7 versus match point, but this was on knife's edge. This ending almost didn't work out. And now let's see how this will look like as we are approaching the last couple of bits of this match. But we see Kuda with a mistake. So many mistakes have happened in this match here all along, and we could go into little overtime, but also Trident could win it here with an ace. And then we go to map number 5. Let's see. I mean, I really hope, sorry for being a bit biased here, that Trident is going to win now after that miserable fail from Spark and Kuda on the previous map. But right now it doesn't look to be the case, as Spark gets a really good line here again, has a lot of speed. Complex will sacrifice a bit, also Neumann with a respawn, so now it is, instead of a victory for Trident, it will be a draw. It's 9-8. Antic in need of another round just like that, or first position, and then it doesn't matter. So it's a draw, track point versus match point again. Trident in need of an ace.
Yeah, it is a very crucial round for Trident now. They have been given opportunities, but again, that ending transition is very complicated to get just right. It's because if you get a bit of airtime, it's immediate death for you. But now it is Trident who, if they get an ace, they win the track point. If they get a victory, they will take us to overtime. And currently, it has looked a lot more in favor of Trident. Spark is the one that is again getting back into the match, sort of keeping Antic all floating at the moment. But Kuda is also in the mix. But who's the one to push the trigger? Everybody's actually making.
No.
Spark is the one that fumbles. It tries to go for the maximum amount of speed, but can Trident hold down? They are in an ace position.
No.
Complex gets airtime now, and it is going to be over, set and done, because Complex with that fault gives Antic the match point. And I feel that is a rough way to end it. And I'm gonna be honest, Trident should have had this one. They definitely did deserve that map number 5, but Antic somehow crawled their way to that final match point. But it's one of those grand finals when you look at it, it's a very bitter win for both sides, because it doesn't really feel as satisfying after what we've gone throughout this all 4 maps. But hey, it's still a GG for them, so well deserved. They get seed number 1 in the main event, and Trident will be seed number 2. But it's not a grand final that you feel satisfied with, to be honest, to win.
Yeah, it was such a weird match here for Antic. Trident was not able to capitalize all along, so it was kind of unfortunate there for them. But I mean, Antic eventually took it home, and just Spark and Kuda looking way too strong here. And I mean, that's it for the showdown. I think that was a great summary of an event. I mean, we had some very cool matches and also some close ones, and I did really enjoy it. Kriidy, it was, as always, a lot of fun to cast together with you. Also to cast so early on is always a very fresh and cool experience. So also thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Lucas Turbo on Twitter and Twitch as well, so you can follow me there as well. And Kriidy on Twitter and probably Twitch as well. Do it, just do it. And yeah, I really appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it. And also, again, thank you, Sam, for asking us to host this kind of event and as a caster. And of course, also thank you very, very much to the man behind who does all the production, to Guru, who did an amazing job of guiding us through and does an amazing work at the camera work in game as well. So thank you very much. We really appreciate that. So thank you, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
Yeah, and also the fact is the important part as well that this was the showdown event, but the main event will be already starting technically already on the 16th, where there is a seeding which won't be broadcasted, but to catch the first part of the main event for the Premier League for Asia and Oceania, 17th of March. 7 UTC, plenty of time zones for the people there. It's 15 Singapore, it's SGT as well, but basically the easiest one is 7 UTC on the 17th of March is where the group stage will start, and that's where all the major fun will begin. 7 maps that you already saw in the preview as well in the campaign. I'm looking forward to it as well. I won't be there for the group stage actually, but I will be able to cast for the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to that one. But that's the future to come in 2 weeks, and I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm sure you are as well, Turbo.
Yeah.
And we will have even more competitive maps and even more teams to play for the Premier League. And then there's just not a seeding prize. There's just a bit more there to gain if you get into the grand final and even further.
Yeah, so I will be back on the 23rd and 24th of March. And also on the 17th, there will be a new duo approaching. Yeah, there will be 2 casters, Blue and Bright. I would say, let's just say Bright Blue and Green. They will be the casters. I'm yellow and Kriidy is dark blue, or like normal blue. Yeah, so we're not gonna leak them just yet. And yeah, and you will be then casting the playoffs again, Kriidy.
Yeah,
Most
so you
likely.
will see Turbo in the group stage. You won't be seeing me in the group stage, but you will see me in playoffs. So, but for the time being,
Yeah.
hopefully you all have enjoyed today's showdown. It has been a roller coaster ride, and I have, that's for sure. And I don't think any of us really thought that we'll end up even after the grand final in this position. But
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you all.
same.
Yeah, Turbo already said everything we could, and I will just be the one to close it out in the end. Thank you all, everybody, for joining and watching. All of you will have a great final Sunday as well. Goodbye, everybody, and hopefully you will have a nice week to come and a great time when Premier League returns. So goodbye, everybody. Have a great time. Bye bye.